What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Cole, DC UPenn's finest, Chris Coacher, CB Coacher Boy. We got another great episode for you guys today. We will be quickly recapping Monday Night Wildcard between the Rams and the Vikings, and we will preview Eagles versus Rams. But after that, get into a lot of basketball. We have our NBA Midseason Awards, as most teams are around their 41st game. And then we'll get into our NBA All-Star brackets with the NBA All-Star game coming up, of course. Before we get into anything, we did have a little bit of an announcement we had to make. From this will be the last full episode of Sideline Summit on this channel specifically. Audio listeners, nothing changes. Leave a like, keep following us, 5-star review, all the good stuff. For our YouTube watchers, though, you can find all of our full episodes going forward on our Belly Up channel. That's our podcast network. We will put them in the description below, but don't worry, this channel isn't dead. Don't go unsubscribing. We're going to have plenty of shorts, as always, new original content for you guys in all different ways, shapes, or forms to keep you guys entertained. Probably be better than ever.
Me and Chris going to hop on, talk about why, just personally, Tony, you can stay at work, whatever you're going to do. Talk about why Justin Fields is the future of the NFL.
And I will
and I kind of just with, throwing some quick ideas before we get into summits and plummets, but for stuff you guys can potentially see in the future is basically all of our agendas unleashed. Like you may see a 10-minute video on Danny talking about what the Steelers rebuild could look like in real time, which he got a lot of flack for because he said trade TJ. But I think that's just fans being emotional.
I'm not emotional.
No. I think there's a reasonable way to not trade TJ, and then there's a reasonable way to trade it, but being emotional about either way about it is not the way to go. I thought you did a great job. The comments were just like, "You're stupid, don't trade TJ." I was like, okay, let's elaborate. But they don't. They're in their feelings. They don't want to lose their best player. Look, me personally, Marcus Smart got traded. Nobody on this planet is safe from being traded.
I do want to say about that video, they called Tomlin a DEI hire. I will not stand for that.
That's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, was essentially handpicked, like the next coach had, or Cowher probably had a say
he definitely did.
Hiring Tomlin, and Cowher is one of the greatest coaches of all time. But again, you'll see like a lot of more agenda-based things. Of course, you'll see some videos with all of us, no doubt. Maybe bringing in interviews. Of course, any long-term fans, y'all know we've brought on Amiri before, who is now at Sacred Heart Division I player. Things like that. You'll see videos about Chris in 3 years talking about how Cam Reddish dropping 36 in the Barcelona League will lead him back into NBA stardom. And then for me personally, I don't know. I don't know if I have some far off agenda like that. I'm not sure.
We're talking about Kenny Pickett's Carson Wentz arc being reversed.
Yeah.
And now he's taking over for DJ Hurts. I smell it.
I'll be making the case for like Nick Foles Hall of Fame, because why not? But with all that being said, again, you can start finding our full episodes over on the Belly Up channel. This will be the last full episode on here, but trust me, we're not going anywhere. Basically, everything stays the same until it is release day, and then audio listeners, everything's the same. But with that being said, let's go to Danny for summits and plummets.
Yeah, I'm gonna go summit. I copped a little Eagles long sleeve. You'd be like, oh, well, you're a Steelers fan. Number one, this is fashion. Wearing a windbreaker long sleeve in Philadelphia, like I don't have to be a fan to wear it, especially because it's the throwback logo. It just looks cool.
Yeah, I saw this like really nice like Denver Broncos hoodie on Depop. And I was kind of in between. I'm a big fan of I'm big on like, dude, if it just looks good, just buy it. Who cares what the team is? But I'm also like, bro, if one person asked me if I'm a Broncos fan, I'd probably lose it. So I think I could probably do that with like baseball, because I could just be like, no, like I'm a Phillies fan. Like baseball is the one where you could really get away with it. Like Yankees wore a Kansas City Royals hat down in New Orleans, but it just like it matched with his outfit. He doesn't know nothing. Like to my knowledge, he doesn't watch baseball. So, yeah. But yeah, didn't mean to interrupt. You can go on with the plummet if there is any. What could possibly go wrong on this beautiful snowy day in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, there's I guess the plummet is it's gonna be football related. It looks like the Steelers are retaining Terrell Austin and their offensive line coach. So that's a plummet in my life.
Disaster.
It's a plummet in Steelers season ticket holders' life because they're not gonna be able to sell the tickets next year. So more than anything, it's a plummet overall.
Yeah, we'll see about the Steelers' future. We will. I think they're one of the more interesting things though, because they are a good organization and they do draft.
They're the Jets with a good head coach.
I wouldn't even say so. I think you guys draft like extremely well. I mean, think about it. You've handpicked Fatanu, who got hurt.
Hasn't played. Roman Wilson.
Yeah, but he's going to be good. He was good in his time. You drafted George Pickens. That's a good get. Drafted Joey Porter, who's going to be a solid corner for a long time. Herbig, Watt, Highsmith, Peyton Wilson's going to be something at some point. Corey Trice. Like this team can draft. Don't get me wrong. I think probably the only notable draft mistakes I can point out are, unfortunately, two of probably your biggest picks in the last so years. Najee Harris in the first round, and then Kenny Pickett. Just drafting him in general.
I point way before that where it started. They can't draft in the first round. Started off by trading. Yeah, that's true. They traded up for Devin Bush. Before that, they drafted Artie Burns in the first round.
In their humble defense, Devin Bush was really good, but once a linebacker tears his Achilles, it's like DeMarcus Cousins tearing his Achilles. You're too big to have a weak ankle like that. Yeah, that was kind of the end of Boogie, unfortunately.
But Bush, they traded up to get him. He was fine, and early on, he sucked afterwards. But like they drafted like Jarvis Jones in the first round, Terrell Edmonds. There's some bad picks in there.
There's some bad ones, but I think look, you're not going to hit on everybody. Maybe they're bad at finding the gems. They're bad at drafting in like day two. Or they're good at drafting day two. Really good at finding the gems that end up paying out. So, yeah. Well, we can go to Chris for his summits and plummets.
Well, my first summit is women as a whole, and I know that may have sounded like I was about to go a crazy place with it, but I'm not.
I approve.
I'm showing love to the women who remember when Drake said once a while ago that Nicki was carrying Meek. Let me introduce you to Carson Beck and Bam Adebayo. Let me tell you. Because without their ladies, they would be falling away from relevancy. I'll tell you that right now. Bam is not a good NBA player anymore. Not anymore.
That's crazy, man. Come
He's
on.
He's lost it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you know it's bad because Sabonis is just dead ass better than him now. And
I hate it. And I hate
Sabonis
it. I love Bam.
It's not even an argument. Sabonis is better than him right now.
And I love Bam, dude.
I'll never take Sabonis over Bam Adebayo. I'm sorry. I don't care.
You will be a losing. You will rue the day that you pick Bam.
Hey, Danny, I'll ask you this question: if it's a team besides the Heat that Bam can play well on, you call it. Because think about it, no other team needs Bam in the way the Heat do. No other team needs him the same way.
Rockets could use him.
Oh God,
Rockets.
No. He'd be in the way. I'd rather
He'd be in the way.
I'd rather today. I would assume again. But all trolls aside, though,
dude, that is hilarious. that might be my new go-to when you talk about trading a player to a team where he doesn't belong. Like, somebody was like a while ago, Celtics fan, like when Russell Westbrook was a free agent, they were like, "Do you think we could just bring him in?" I'm like, "Dude, he'd be in the way."
He'll be in the way. Literally, Danny, think about it. Şengün post up. Where does Bam go? Does Bam flash to the free throw?
No. He kicks to the mid-range. What do we mean?
I'm saying Bam replaces Şengün.
Ooh.
No, that definitely not. Definitely not.
Now, defensively, I can see why, Danny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Defense, okay. Let's be real, man. Like, at a point, the offensive gap has to just make up for it. That's why Jokic is like that guy.
And when it comes to basketball, my favorite sport, I like to wear up and down the court. The best thing about it is if you have effort, you got defense. So you can get anybody who's on a minimum deal. I bet they got defense because they try as hard as they possibly can.
Kelly Oubre.
Martin.
Gershon was
good basketball players. See what I'm saying? They're good defenders because they're playing for the next contract. But all trolls aside, though, That's my first Plummet though, because I think that's so cool. That's always the other way around. Like you see a relationship go one way where you're like, oh, this person went there, so that girl went there. It's kind of like the opposite in a couple different ways. But
Carson Beck went to his chick, man. Salute.
Yeah,
I know one of the Cavenders isn't. I know one of them's like pretty good, and then one of them is like
bad.
Yeah, one of them's like actually pretty good too. Like probably can make the league if they expand.
I think that's Carson Beck's girlfriend.
Yeah, she's really actually good. That's why I made the joke.
Yeah, so her well, of course, Paige is going one, but her Haley Van Lith has kind of like revitalized her career at TCU, being able to actually do her own thing instead of being on a stacked LSU team, which is probably the worst decision of her career.
Yeah, and they're so lucky that girls can't leave early because, boy, I tell you, it's a couple really good ones.
There's that girl, I can't think of her name.
They've been calling Baby Kyrie, the dribbler.
Not her, but she's insane too. I'm thinking of the girl. I think she goes to Notre Dame. Hannah
Hidalgo, or
yes,
the other one?
Yes.
They got two little demons back there. Demons. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, and of course Juju would probably go one, but
she's gonna go one whenever she feels like.
Yeah. Chris, who do you think the most unstoppable player in the NBA is? Because when I'm talking about getting to their shots, I think Jalen Brunson's got to be up there. When he wants to get to his shots,
I'm going to be honest with you, man.
I would say Giannis. Only reason I would say Giannis is because all his shots he want to get to is close to the basket, and it's hard to get him away from the basket. So I would probably go Giannis just because.
I would personally say.
I feel your Brunson point. I feel that too.
I see the Brunson point. I like the Giannis one. I've seen too many Giannis walls to say it's completely unstoppable. I would just pick Jokic. Anthony Davis is the one human I would send out there to defend Nikola Jokic, and he hasn't been able to do none with him for 3 years. Like Jokic, while he obviously doesn't look ripped like a Giannis or
he's got overseas strength.
Yeah, him and Luka have such wide torsos. They're strong guys. Like they're really hard to stop. I'd personally say Jokic.
Yeah,
of course, another good one would be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I was gonna say he's very tough to stop too. Yeah. I guess I have to give another summit of Plummets so I can stop yapping. So my second summit is going to be I get to watch my Ravens this weekend, uninterrupted. Nobody's gonna be here. My girl's going to St. Louis. So and somebody's like, "Are you gonna go out and watch?" I'm like, "No, I hate watching my team around other people because people try to tell me stuff that I've been watching for years and they've been watching for 40 minutes. So I don't go watch it with other people unless it's like I would watch it with y'all, like my actual friends, like go to like a bar. No. But I will be going to a bar if they win this game and go to the AFC Championship game. They play the Chiefs because we have a Chiefs bar here. So I'm definitely going to go to the bar.
Why are you assuming they're playing the Chiefs?
Because if CJ Stroud gets out of this,
there might be no stopping him.
He's better than Patrick.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Maybe I knew ball. The Eagles Texans Super Bowl.
Look, in hindsight, if this team was going into the playoffs with Diggs, with Dell, we might be talking about a game here because they looked good when they had at least Nico and Diggs. Because Diggs completely revitalized. So you knew ball. It was just, injuries weren't on your side. And Bobby Sloak needs to leave the building. I'll go with mine. Plummets, and these ones are entirely away from sports, believe it or not. Start with a plummet. Start with a plummet. Dog got me. No big deal though. It's no big deal. No stitches. It's dogs fight. Things happen. It's no big deal. Just got to keep this on for a little bit, but we're rocking. We're still good. I'll still be able to cook dinner, hopefully. Summit though, I told Danny about this. I got like a big credit boost on my line. We'll keep the number disclosed, but first thing I did was I bought Doc Martens. Like I feel great. I got some jewelry that came in. I had this it's a pretty generic hoodie, and the quality actually isn't phenomenal, but it's all about how it looks. No one really cares about how it feels on Instagram, right? So that's my stuff. Nothing too crazy, but we can move it on over to this Wildcard recap. On every single episode, you will see me wearing some kind of hat, whether it's a snapback, whether it's a dad style hat. I always got to have something to complete the outfit. And the only place where I get my hats is lids.com. Lids.com has so many different brands, and of course they have a bunch of different styles. Like I just said, it could be dad hat, snapback, it could be fitted, it could be Velcro back. Whatever you want, they got it. And with the NFL season coming up, I know you're going to want to rock and represent your favorite squad. Me personally, I'm a big Eagles guy, and I love this 47 brand throwback hat that I got from lids.com. Or if you're more of a snapback guy, I also got this NBA champions Boston Celtics new era cap from lids.com as well. If you like either of those hats and you feel like you want one to represent your squad, click the link in the description below. Whether it's new era or 47, both links will take you right to lids.com. And the best thing about Lids, they always have some type of deal going on their website. So make sure you click that link and check out any deals they got going on at lids.com. Yeah, so
Chris,
let's start.
I want to hear
let's start with the game.
We all thought the Vikings were going to win, actually.
Yes, we all did pick that.
So, but I'm actually going to kick it back over to where we were going through what is going to be the X factor in holding the team back and propelling them to the next round. And the thing that I mentioned about the Vikings was how Sam Darnold responds to pressure. And how did he respond? He didn't make any plays. He made zero plays at all. And
you were right then and you were right now.
Not to say that like I knew it, but like I know that Jefferson and Hawkinson and Addison are awesome. They're like top of their position group. Darnold has played at like an elite level Rajon Rondo point guard role all year. He's just been distributing the ball, kind of going through his reads and saying this defense can't stop me if I have Justin Jefferson and Addison and making these plays, which is fair. Like that's awesome. If you can do that and be Brock Purdy, like it's fine. The only issue is when you get pressured, you have to you have to run. You have to step up in the pocket. And when nobody's getting open, you lose. You got to be physical. You have to enforce the run. You got to work off play action. And not all the blame falls on Darnold. I think Kevin O'Connell went away from being a physical football team and establishing the run. You just simply can't. You saw with the Ravens last year. You can't simply not run the ball and win a football game. The Ravens are a physical run team. They ran the ball 10 times against the Chiefs last year and lost. They put up their worst offensive output probably in the last 6 years.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing, what I think is really strange is Darnold was at his best, 3-step drop, get the ball out. Whether it's a deep, just as long as he didn't have to hold the ball in his hands. But in this game, it seemed like he didn't even have enough time to do that. And you have to credit the Rams. I mean, like going into this year, we're looking at a unit that did not have a lot of talent, but they nailed on their minimum signings, on their late round guys. They did a phenomenal job in developing these players. And it's disappointing for Sam Darnold. I'm a big believer in Sam Darnold. I thought, he found the system that works for him. He was very hot down the stretch, and it kind of just seemed like maybe that Detroit game broke him a little bit. And the Rams did a great job plucking what they did from Detroit. Detroit and LA were the only two teams that beat Minnesota this year. The Rams and the Lions, Vikings are 0-4 against those two teams. So, and they kind of use the same recipes, at least in these two games, to shut down this offense. And I thought the Rams did a tremendous job offensively. Matt Stafford getting the ball out of his hands fast. And that's going to kind of be the key in this next game, is getting the ball out fast, because, I mean, Nolan Smith is on a heater right now. He's probably came off the best defensive performance of the weekend. And of course you have Josh Sweat. You still have the military men up front in Davis and Carter. So I'm interested to see what the Rams do. But, to this game, I was telling you guys, or telling Danny this before, this solves any questions that people had about, well, what if they want to trade J.J. McCarthy? I was like, first of all, I don't think that was ever an option. This kid was like the 11th pick in the draft. Could have gone top 10, to me, that was a possibility. I didn't think he was a top 10 level quarterback, but it would have been a possibility. And I tweeted this out. I saw a lot of just J.J. McCarthy prop on the timeline. A lot of good throws by him. And I'm just kind of like, I'm really excited. I really am excited, because I think he's a very smart player. I thought him at Michigan wasn't the film you saw at Michigan. Like, I'm like, that's him. This is a strong-armed kid, which a lot of people, I think, assume just because he doesn't throw a lot doesn't mean he can. Wise words of Jalen Hurts. Just because we don't doesn't mean we can't. kind of same thing. If you have Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards, we're going to hand this ball off all day. But when McCarthy was asked to throw, he made really good plays. He has good preseason film. Of course, that is preseason. I kind of respect the college film a little bit, or maybe I do respect the preseason film a little bit more because these are all still actually NFL guys or guys that were drafted, signed, whatever. I'm excited for him. Darnold, I don't know what team is going to draft him. I don't know. He's going to have to do maybe another little prove it deal, unfortunately, because as good as you've been, like Danny said, your weaknesses are still your weaknesses. You can be turnover prone when you're pressured. You are prone to seeing ghosts. You've invented that saying. Sam Darnold invented the saying, seeing ghosts. And you kind of just got to live with it. So, great job by the Rams defense. Offense did their thing. I didn't think the offense was like all too great, but McVay worked around it enough to beat Flores this time around. Also, last thing before I go to Chris, I'm starting to think McVay might have a little something to do with the defense. Because regardless who is out there, he has at least solid defense on his side. And this answers a question I think I had a couple weeks ago. We need to get coaches calling offense and defense. I think I might have just told that to Danny in the car, but I think McVay does it. There's a piece of me that believes that. But Chris, what were your thoughts on the game?
I mean, dang. D-A-N-G. That's all I can say. I was watching, I'm like, all right, the Vikings going to make a run here. Good play. Nope. It's just nothing stuck. And it seemed like, but also at the same time for the Rams offense, I wasn't like blown away either. You know, like I wasn't like, oh, this was crazy, but obviously did enough to win the game. But I don't know. It was a weird one to watch, only for the simple fact that I just expected so much more. Like not even just points. I just expected just more stuff to happen. But I think it was just more kind of what we talked about with the Texans before. Kind of like they're up front, kind of just dominating and kind of getting through. I think that's what the Rams did. I know we talked about on the show Verse and is it Fisk? Braden Fisk?
Yep.
Correct. Yeah. I thought that was how you said it now. I thought I was gonna say it wrong. But I think those two set the tone. And I think if they would have got past them, the Eagles would have just dominated them more up front the same way. So I think kind of just proved a lot of the points that Danny made beforehand, the show before. But on the bright side for Darnold, this quarterback class isn't great. So I could see him easily getting, as Tone said, a prove it deal. Or I could see a team, the Giants, someone like that, the Browns, someone like that, taking a two-year deal on them while they groom whoever their new guy is. Or if you're the Giants, you miss out on two quarterbacks, you wait until the next draft. You know what I'm saying? I could see something like that so he gets another chance. But I don't know. I just expected more from the Vikings outing. And I was more so impressed by what the Rams were able to do without really like going ridiculous on offense. I think it was just a well-rounded game from the Rams. And in my opinion, my first thought was the Rams would need to have a crazy offensive game to win. And they proved that they can just do it, well-rounded. So that's probably what I took away from most.
Hunter Long, Kobe Parkinson, Davis Allen.
Kobe Durant, best name ever.
Those are three tight ends that were catching balls, dude. I know you might have heard of Kobe Parkinson. If you could have ever named
that's the name I heard. Yeah, that's it.
I heard of him. If you could name the other two. Actually, I'm going to tell you a fun fact. Hunter Long was the guy on the Dolphins that got traded for Jalen Ramsey. And it was him in the third-round pick. You didn't know that. No one knows that because he's that bad. He doesn't touch the field. That's who he's completing to. The Vikings just offensively, defensively, they're getting beat by subpar players. They got outcoached, so to say. Not much else you can say. I will say you can't let the Eagles won't let those players win. The Eagles aren't going to let Hunter Long score, Davis Allen score a touchdown, and like Kyron Williams, you'll have to have your best day of your career. Saquon Barkley had 265 last time he played the Rams D-line because as much as Verse is going to made Mailata look human, he didn't look bad. He looked human. The Eagles were still moving the Rams D-line play to play. So I think it's a perfect transition right now. Tony, let's hear your thoughts on Eagles Rams.
Yeah, I'm definitely not as certain as you guys. I think the Eagles kind of the same game plan. Dan Orlovsky, I think on the Pat McAfee show, was talking about make Jalen Hurts throw it over the middle, protect the perimeter. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Put less people in the box and let the best offensive line in the league with the best running back in the league. Yep, let's just go right up the middle. Let's do it all day. Jalen Hurts wouldn't have to throw a pass.
Jalen Hurts would just run power himself sometimes.
Exactly. Like the two largest squat numbers by skill players in this league will just run you up and down the field. So I don't think the Rams will do that. I think they're a little smarter than that. They knew what Saquon did to them last time. Not saying stopping Saquon is doable. He's had some stinkers this year, but those are on low carry games. He's prone to he needs to get about 15 carries and then he'll break one. But the Rams are going to try to throw the quick game just like they did against Minnesota. I think the Eagles are equipped for that. They have really solid, of course, they probably have the best batch of corners in the NFL. When you include their nickel corner, Cooper DeJean, of course, and really good safeties.
Hilarious. They got knocked last year for having bad corners. They had James Bradbury, who's still on the team, by the way. He just doesn't
chill. Let him kick back, get his ring, man, because he had a really good 2022 year. He sold his soul for that year, and yeah. But the one thing I do want to mention, and I'm big on telling Danny that I hate when Eagles fans try to correlate one thing with something that has nothing to do with it. So Matthew Stafford, outdoors in the rain or snow. We have a 75% chance of snow this Sunday. He is 1-8, only completes 55% of his passes, 14 to 11 touchdown and interception, only a 76 passer rating. That one, I take those statistics anyway with a grain of salt. You never know who a guy is playing, how bad it's raining. Like, it could be a drizzling game, and maybe he balled out, and then there's like a monsoon where he didn't get to throw that much, and he probably went like 4 for 12, whatever it is. I'm not looking into the game by game ones, but there was a quarterback long ago, Drew Brees, who came into the link all week talking about he can't play in the cold. Mind you, Drew Brees really couldn't play like that. He wasn't really that good in the cold. Same thing with Peyton Manning. But regardless, Brees came in and won. So it gives me a little bit of that bad feeling that, Stafford's going to come in and have his career game in the snow. But the point is, if it becomes a battle of the trenches, I trust Philadelphia. I trust Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts on the run game. As for Los Angeles, Kyron Williams is a very solid back. He's not a really efficient back. I think he's about 3. I mean, it's either high 3 or low 4 yards per carry. And the Eagles are probably going to load up the box. They're going to trust their corners to do their thing. I think Cooper DeJean will probably even have a big day in the run. If Zach Bond and hopefully Jeremiah Trotter Jr. gets the start, are filling downhill. I'm really excited to see Trot Jr. in this one. So,
and Cooper Kupp just hasn't looked the same.
He hasn't looked the same, but I'll never count him out, of course. He could just get one bad matchup against Avonte Maddox or Isaiah Rodgers, and just like that, he's making big plays. He's always been a really good playoff performer. And, of course, you can't forget about Puka Nacua, who I believe is among the elite, one of the best receivers in the NFL.
He's a top 7 receiver in the NFL.
Top 7, top 8. He's definitely in that conversation, I believe. So I'm going to pick the Eagles still in this one. I'm definitely not going in double digits. I think the Eagles win by a 1 possession, probably by a touchdown, I would say. But I'll be damned if the Rams don't go down swinging. McVay's going to have a plan for his guys, and it's all up to Nick Sirianni and company to respond. I believe they will.
I like that. And yeah, I think the Eagles win 31-20.
That's the same pick that Chris had for Bills Ravens.
Yeah. I think
I'll say 27-20 while we're on the top. Yeah.
What the Eagles do well is run the ball. They won by 16 points last time they played. Really 23. The Rams had like a garbage time touchdown.
Respect is just the dagger touchdown.
It doesn't count in my opinion. The Eagles had 23 points margin of victory, really 16. When it comes down to it, that's a lot of points in a playoff game. If you go up 16, unless you're playing Patrick Mahomes, your lead is usually safe. Yep. We're at a caveat. Or Trevor Lawrence, star.
Yeah.
But the reality is, Eagles, when they played the Packers, they played inefficient football, put up 22 points. Packers couldn't move the ball. The Eagles are playing a hard-nosed style of football. They knocked out multiple Packers receivers. Let's not forget that. They knocked them out.
Yeah, I don't want to put it like we got the bounty going on or anything, but
there's no bounty. But
there's physical ball, especially in that secondary, man. Especially in that secondary. Reed, Gardner Johnson, Cooper DeJean. These are some of they're some of the most physical guys in the NFL, and when it comes to secondary players.
I hate to say it, the Eagles were missing C.J. Gardner Johnson.
No, 100%. I wouldn't have bought his jersey for no reason. I'm probably one of like maybe 1,000 citizens who owned one of those.
They were missing swagger. And C.J. Gardner Johnson brought the swagger back to the team.
Him, Quinion Mitchell. And it always helps when your linebackers are tough too. When your linebackers are tough, when the quarterback of your defense is tough, people are gonna surround it. Especially when this guy, Nakobe Dean's gonna be out for the rest of the year. Speedy recovery. But Dean is especially like he's been playing with Carter and Davis and Nolan Smith for years. So they kind of know how he gets. And then Zach Bond, unproven guy, comes in, is Mike linebacker, and is about the greatest thing since sliced bread. So
yeah,
I definitely dig that. Chris, you want to give a quick what you think might happen in the game, score prediction before we head to this NBA Midseason Awards?
Yeah, I'm not getting tricked. I'm not getting tricked again. We're not getting tricked in the sense of reverting back because the Vikings tricked me, and I thought the better team was the Vikings. They would just beat the Rams, and it didn't happen. So I'm not going to trick myself like, oh no, no. The Eagles are the better team. Eagles going to win this game. Now, the only thing I'm thinking about is score, because the Rams surprise me every time they run out there. I just don't know what's going to happen in a good way. Like I think they have more ways to win than I have seemed to respect over time. So I'm going to say 30-21 Eagles. That's what I'll say, 30-21 Eagles. I think it's a really big game for the Eagles secondary, right? In the sense of shutting down this Rams passing attack. And I think that'll be the key to the game. I think Kyron, they'll be able to keep under control because the Eagles' D-line is actually ridiculous. And then the three linebackers played them kind of ridiculous too. So I think that'll be the thing. So I think if that secondary has a good day, I think they can bottle them up and win by that 9 points I had. Close to double digits.
I agree. The only thing I don't agree on is the Eagles trotting out Jake Elliott three times.
Jake Elliott, Adam Vinatieri moment, best believe.
Yeah, I'm thinking early field goals. Like
we get the Jordan Mailata size 19, the Lane Johnson size 21.5 to clear that spot, baby.
Oh, Chris, actually, I'm wrong. Eagles score 4 touchdowns. They miss the PAT and make 1 field goal. There you go, 30 points.
Whoop, there it is. I know because you know what? Somebody's missing the PAT. Somebody on
it's Jake Elliott. It'll be Jake Elliott for sure.
Sadly,
it may be Tyler Bass. It may be Tyler Bass. I'm just letting y'all know. It just may be him. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, what happened to kickers, man? Why can't everyone be like Brandon Aubrey?
Or like
Brandon Aubrey's zapped Justin Tucker's powers.
He literally did. He fusion twin and didn't give Justin Tucker any powers back. He just had to fend for himself. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And the Saints kicker is cool too.
Was that
Rupee?
Oh, that dude, he is pretty good. Oh, is he just good because he's always out there? Who knows?
No, dude, he played Gaelic football, like Irish football.
I don't know what that is, but nice.
Oh, that's my first time learning that for sure. But yeah, let's move on to these NBA midseason awards. I know all you basketball fans have been starving. You're like the redhead stepchild when it's during football season, but definitely gonna have to start ramping things up, of course. So we're gonna start with these mid-season awards. All of us have our picks for MVP, DPOY, Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, Most Improved. I don't think anyone typed out a Clutch Player of the Year, but
you think I didn't?
But we could start with our most valuable player. Anyone want to go first, or should I just lead things off?
Lead it off with Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
no, I can't pick Jason Tatum at this point in time. He was my preseason pick, but it will be disingenuous. If I wanted to be like absolutely literal, I'm like, well, he is like 35 or he's like 28-0 when he has the usage over 20 or 35%. But my pick is going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and this is a little bit of fatigue towards Jokic, but Shea is putting up definitely MVP-worthy numbers. His team is in a better spot. I'm always going to consider winning at least a tad bit in these MVP awards. And I think what's been the difference for Shea this year, more than anything, is the free throw rate is even more down than last year. And the mid-range is just so lethal. One of the only guys in the league that the mid-range makes people, you got to stay honest. You either got to respect it, he could step back on you, shoot it, or he'll blow by you. And he is, guard or not, one of the best finishers in the NBA. And he also leads the NBA in drives. So, one, while people complain that he gets free throws, he should be getting more free throws. And two, he's an elite rim finisher and he does it a lot. It's not like, oh, he has low attempts. No, he's up there. He's up there with some centers with how often he is attacking in the restricted area. And he just has this team in such a great spot. Definitely the favorites out west. I expect them fully to make the NBA finals. So I'm going to rock with SGA as my MVP at the moment.
It's completely fair. I also agree with you. MVPs can almost considered like the best player and the best team award, kind of, but Shea
sometimes not. Jokic has won it both ways. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
I like that
sometimes, but Shea deserves it. He's also like super Jalen Hurts about it, nonchalant, weird interview quotes.
They're both aura farmers to the max.
Yeah,
I bet they don't act like this around their loved ones.
One thing I will say is the Thunder, they have this. They're probably the most close-knit team I've seen in NBA in a while. Like,
and I love that for them. I don't like when there's a certain line where teams are so about business and nothing's funny, but they're having fun and
everything's funny.
And they're nasty. They're leading the league. I believe they're leading the league in forced turnovers, while not giving the ball up. And they're shooting a certain amount of threes with not giving this much turnovers and turning the ball over like for the other team at an extreme rate. And this is with Alex Caruso in and out of the lineup. This is with Chet Holmgren, who's going to be a perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate, been out of the lineup. Ihart been out of the lineup. Well, he's been in and out of the lineup, but Ihart's been such a great signing for them. Of course, the ascending role of Jalen Williams has been.
How do they keep paying for this? This is unfair.
They're not paying nobody yet. That's the lucky spot.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't want to have to see the day, but hopefully Presti can do his best Brad Stevens and figure it out.
He ain't paying nobody.
It'll be good.
Hartenstein's getting chopped.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. It'll be good because they are paying the role guys like Wiggins and those other guys already got their extensions already. So they might be okay.
I can't even say enough about Aaron Wiggins. I mean, he saved basketball. What can I say?
That's my
like
boy.
that, and I'm glad whenever I tune into a Thunder game, which is most likely on League Pass because the NBA
terrible.
There's a place in jail for you guys for how you guys promote the Thunder. But every time I'm on League Pass, I like to go to the other, like the OKC broadcast is fine, but I want to see the other, like if Aaron Wiggins checks in, I'm going to the other broadcast. I want to see if they mentioned that he saved basketball because the Celtics did it. I was a big fan of that. I think the Bulls did it. They're playing some red team. They definitely mentioned it, but Aaron Wiggins saving basketball is one of the best inside jokes in the NBA.
It is because he did.
And Chris, I'll assuming you don't have a different MVP pick.
No, I don't, because this is my preseason pick too. And second, even though I don't have a different pick, I'd Shea's my MVP too. I do want to shed light on two guys who I think probably won't make the top 5 voting. But if the league's not league, but if the season stopped today, they'd be top 3 in my opinion. I want to give Don Mitchell some love, and I want to say Jalen Brunson. To Danny's point earlier, one thing about Jalen Brunson, he's always been a ball-dominant guard. So him averaging 7 assists is like 12, right? Because he's still scoring the same way, but he's still facilitating the ball, and he's off the ball more, which I think has helped everybody else because to keep everybody else happy, you got to get them shots, and they got to be involved. And I think he's shown that. And that was my one scare for Brunson, having good players on his team. Always seen him as ball-dominant in a good way, but not really care of the players. So I want to show some love to it. And I think Danny said it, I don't know if we were even on yet, but just the growth of his game and just how much better he is. So I think had his game not grown and he still played the exact same way, this Knicks team wouldn't be working. So I want to give him a shout out too. And Donovan Mitchell, just because I mean they're the best team in the East. His numbers are down, but everybody else's numbers is up. So it's similar to the Brunson thing, to where him taking a backseat-ish until the fourth quarter has made everybody else better. So we want to show some love to those two.
Shout out Victor Wembanyama.
Shout out Hector Bananas.
Yep.
Hector Banana Bread, man. What an elite nickname. Ja got him though. Ja got him.
Demetrius
Jamel Morant, as Yuki would say.
Did not count.
That's a name.
Counts in my book.
Quick question. I asked this in the group chat. Now, if Ja Morant ducks that on Nikola Vucevic, are you still counting it? Are you still saying like, oh, he dunked on him? Are you saying it? Because I'm still saying he dunked on him.
Dude, we're doing it. It happened. It happened. That could be recorded on a BlackBerry at a Chester High School gym. If he dunked on him, it count. Vic went up. That's the price you pay. Next time, when the play dead, don't jump, young man.
And Zach Edey dunked on Wemby too, by the way, but we don't count that because it's two mammoths going at each other.
Wemby, to be fair, had like 8 blocks.
Oh, he had 8
in the first. He dominated Edey. Edey got him for a play though.
First half.
Yeah, but if we all have the same MVP, I will swing it to Chris. While we were just crapping on him, I think we all have the same pick for this one: Defensive Player of the Year.
And why is it Sam Hauser? No, I'm kidding. Yeah,
why is it Peyton Pritchard?
No,
maybe the worst defender in the league, dude.
No. You know why he's not? Because Rui Hachimura still alive, and he's still in the NBA. Unfortunately.
Oh, Luke Cornett. That's my favorite pick for.
That's my guy. But yeah, I'm picking
Shout out Luke Cornett, man.
I'm picking Victor, dude, only because it's like, bro, when you make grown men who work their whole life to get to this level with elite athleticism, not even look at the rim when they're going by, that makes you defensive player of the year off rip. And the simple fact that I think this is probably most underrated, he switches out on guards and wings so well because he doesn't have to go too far. Like, he'll switch out on the guard and he'll be like right at the top of the free throw circle, and the guard won't shoot because they don't have enough time to get up no matter how quick their shot is. And I think that's defensive player of the year worthy. Like, being a big man and having that type of perimeter defense, I think that's what makes you defensive player of the year. Like, not hating on Gobert, but Gobert, like, outside the paint, he's kind of useless.
He's cooked, bro.
Right. Yeah. And I think Wemby outside of the paint, you damn near like want him in the paint more than you want him on the outside. Then you can't get any threes up. So I think he's the defensive player of the year for sure.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah, I did just want to say, like, kind of building off Chris's point about Wemby, is he still averages 4 blocks a game. Like, could you imagine if people tried him more? We're talking probably about like 6.5, 7 blocks.
Literally, he would average 7 blocks.
He would be up there, but he gets 4 blocks and people don't even try him that hard.
He blocks floaters.
It's basically, yeah, he gets 4 blocks a game going out of his way. Like, a lot of people, like, you know, they'll get their 2 blocks because people think, oh yeah, I can get one up over Rudy real quick, and then he'll get you out of there. And Rudy kind of has the same presence. You don't really want to go to the paint around Rudy Gobert. Don't get me wrong. But I would say just the difference between them is that Wemby is a better blocker, and he's better in space because he's just a much better lateral mover than Rudy Gobert.
Quick twitches.
Nothing against Rudy Gobert, man. It's you weren't born with that quick twitch that Vic was.
Yeah.
Vic also specifically trains for that, so I don't know. Maybe you could be better. I don't. Anyway,
you also get NBA COVID, so I don't care. Just
let's move on. Let's move on to the next question, which I think this one's really interesting. I think this one's interesting. If a certain someone wasn't hurt, he would be running away with this award. But Rookie of the Year. Danny, do you want to kick this one off, or do you want me to go with it?
I'm not really a fan of any of these rookies. You can kick it off, but
yeah,
actually, I'm gonna give my Rookie of the Year, and it's because I don't like Alexander Sarr. I'm gonna give Stephon Castle. I'm a really big. I never liked Sarr. He's not good at basketball. He plays for a bad team.
It's unfortunate. Well, yeah, a lot of top picks.
His stats are inflated.
Stats are inflated. That's interesting.
Danny turned into Charles Barkley right in our face. Do you hear it? He turned right to Charles
Barkley. Like Castle's real. Castle's the real deal. He's providing minutes to an actual real team. he's awesome. He can shoot the three a little bit. He plays solid defense. He's a true role player. And Chris said it. This is a role player draft. So I'm going to pick the best role player out of the entire draft, Castle.
I think that's a fine pick. I'm a big fan of Castle, of course. I think I'm probably the biggest fan of his on this panel per se. I'm still gonna go with Alex Sarr though. I liked his improvement over the last couple months. December he won the Rookie of the Month. This month the shooting splits have gone down, but assist numbers and rebounds are going up. You of course would like to see him rebound maybe a little bit better for a guy his size, but he's been flexing between the 4 and 5, more so minutes at the 4. So maybe rebounds will be down, but I think he's only gotten better as the season goes on. And I talk about this a lot with Jason Tatum, but Alex Sarr, a little bit of the same thing. Hockey assist. He's really big on finding the man who's going to find the man. He does a great job passing out of the high post. That's something that I wasn't even anticipating on his game, but he's been phenomenal passing out of the high post. It's very baby Sabonis, Sengun-esque, the way he can be, as Chris would describe it, a hub for his offense. Now, the assist numbers, obviously, they won't pop up, sadly, but he does a good job. When asked for the offense to revolve around him, he's doing good. Not scared to shoot the 3 ball, which we kind of knew about him already, but I think that could even develop more. I think the more this season will go on, he'll develop into a proper candidate. I mean, I would give it to him now. And then for clarification, I would give it to Jared McCain without a single hesitation.
I was going to say, can I still choose McCain?
I mean, technically he's not out of the race because he's still on all the rookie leaderboards because he hasn't missed enough games just yet. He's going to at some point, but I mean, McCain was the most consistent scoring option for the Sixers when Embiid was out. Even when Embiid got in, that's kind of a guy you were confident to go to, elite shooter. I mean, it's such a shame he got hurt. He's going to have a bright future. I really do. But we can go to Chris. I'm really interested to hear your answer, actually, because I think there's just a couple guys you can go with, and it's like not the end of the world.
Yeah, I like both of y'all answers, and I do want to say this about Sarr. I was so low on Sarr going into the draft. I just didn't see anything. I am starting to see some flashes. I don't think he's good yet, but I do see what people were saying, like about like the potential.
Yeah, don't look now. He's a -25, and they're getting smoked by the Suns. But
well, that's just what's going to happen. It's the Wizards. But I will say this about Sarr. I think he has the tools that people saw. I just didn't see it at first, but I think he can be good, and I think he's shown some pretty good stretches on a very bad team. So I do respect that pick. I will say I think my pick probably nobody's going to pick. I think he's been the most consistent rookie, Yves Missi from the Pelicans. He took over a starting center spot. Well, they didn't even have a center, first of all. They didn't have one on the roster besides Daniel Tice. And Celtics legend Daniel Tice, by the way. Rockets legend Daniel Tice. Yep. He's probably played for your favorite team if you have a favorite team. But I think Missi's done so well. And I think with having Zion out, just missing in the middle, even though Zion's a 4, he's still in the middle. I think Missi's done a really great job. He's had more than a couple double-doubles. Rebounds really well. And I think he just has to get his offensive side of the game there, and he'll be a double-double guy every night.
He's unfortunately just a rookie Nick Richards.
And Nick Richards is a very good basketball player. Y'all gonna see it in the sun. Trust me when I tell y'all. And then, but yeah, over who they got. I think it's even a good one. I think it's even a good comparison, honestly, because I like Nick Richards a lot. I do. But yeah, I think Missi's my rookie year just because I think he's had a really good year. An unexpected year too. Like McCain, like people thought he might be too small, so that was unexpected. I think Missi's year maybe even more unexpected than McCain's. I don't think people even knew who he was going into the draft or outside of summer league. So that's my pick. But I like y'all picks too.
Yeah. Don't look now. The Thunder are curb stomping the Cavaliers.
Yep. And you know why I forgot they would? Because all the Thunder's best defenders are Donovan Mitchell's height, unfortunately. So when they switch, he has nowhere to go. Like he's switching from Cason Wallace to Caruso.
2 points. 2 for 12 for Mitchell.
He can't do it.
On the other side of things, though, SGA,
Devontae,
26 points at the half, 10 for 15 on 2 3-point attempts.
All I'm saying, Shayvonte Gilgeous-Alexander,
2 steals.
You are the MVP, brother.
Yeah. Let's move on. This one's funny, but let's move on to Coach of the Year. I think there's a lot of great candidates. Dagnall, Udoka, Jenkins, Taylor Jenkins, JJ Redick. I mean, not depending on where they land, not the worst thing in the world considering his roster. And then you have guys out east. I mean, you have Kenny Atkinson. You'll have Dan Snyder, who I think's done a great job with Atlanta this year. Chris, would you like to start off on this one?
Yes. And I'm in between two picks. I want to say Dagnall was my preseason pick. I want to say he was, but I could be totally wrong.
Find the records.
I want to say he was, but my pick is Kenny Atkinson, and I think the reason I'm giving to him over Dagnall, and I think they're probably my top two as of today. I mean, not just because they got the two best records, but I think they've done the best job. Kenny Atkinson, I feel like, has brought a lot out of Mobley, and I think Mobley's always been the unlocking piece, right, for that Cavs team. Like since Mitchell's been over there, it's always been if Mobley can take the next step, and I think Mobley has. He's 19-8, which I mean, it doesn't scream all-star numbers, but when you're on a winning team, it may be. And I think a lot of that's been Atkinson putting him in spaces where he can succeed. Even letting him be on the three-point line a little more to where he is able to create and not just shoot standstill threes. I like that about him more. And they're also splitting the minutes with him and Jared Allen more, which I think is perfect. Like, yes, you start and end with them, but I don't think they should be on the court much together because you got to let both of them eat. And I think Atkinson has done that really well. And I think he's done the same with Garland and Mitchell to where you're spelling the minutes as well, but they both can still get there. So I think he's done a great job managing the talent over there. So I'll give him the award.
I think that's fair. Danny, you can go next if you'd like.
I don't know if you found the awards. I think my preseason is who I'm going to stick with, and it's Ime Udoka. I think that what Udoka has done, he's elevated a team that was competing for a play-in to a team that's almost like a legit contender. We're seeing Jalen Green drop 30 points a game. Not really, but he dropped 30 last night for Chris.
The 2025, he's been tremendous.
That's my boy.
Great. He's been absolutely great.
Yeah.
Pull my tweets up if y'all need from 2018. I could pull them up. I got him.
Yeah, unfortunately, the guy who went ahead of him in the draft had just been like that all year, though.
Yeah.
LaMarlo Ball. No, it's not LaMarlo. I'm tripping. That's wrong draft. That's Anthony Edwards' draft. It's the K draft. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, and that's probably the guy. That's probably
put up upside my jacket, Cade Cunningham.
That's probably who Tone's going to give a different award to.
I may or may not. Actually, no. I'm spoiler. I didn't give Cade Cunningham most improved because that would just make no sense. That would just be, I just started watching Cade Cunningham. I thought he was a bum before because his team sucked. I mean, I guess you could give him most improved, but I wouldn't give him that. I'm giving it to someone who passes my statistics and eye test. But dude, I cannot find
does he
these
play for the
things
Atlanta
on
Hawks?
the screen. No. Jalen Johnson is a good pick though. Right? They have several guys.
I think that was my preseason pick. I wish he wasn't hurt right now.
I like the other guy in the Hawks.
Maybe the preseason awards or friends we made along the way.
Dyson Daniels.
Dyson Daniels is really good.
Yeah, I don't think I can find it.
He reminds me of a better Matisse Thybulle.
Huh. I'll take it a step further because I think that was a really good one too. I think because of arm length and stuff too. I think that was good. But Dyson Daniels has unreal arm length.
Yeah, he's like KD.
Yeah, his arms
I sadly can't find them.
He looks more like tall than 6'5". I thought he was like 6'8", but yeah, he's only 6'5".
Lengthy guards.
Like Rondo arms. Even though Rondo was only 6'1", he looked.
Bro, Rondo played like he was 5'10". He was 6'1", but his arms were 6'8".
Literally, bro. He had and big hands. Big hands. He has huge hands.
But he played like a little boy. Like he would always he would try to get shifty with you. You know, he would never try to actually.
I love that. Only because I think people thought, like, I was telling people, like, Derrick Rose is all of 6'1". Nah, bro, he's 6'3". I'm like, no, that's what the NBA said. I've stood next to him. Trust me when I tell you, he was 6'1" doing that to our favorite players. Like, that's why I said, like, him as a basketball player, just athleticism alone, he might be the most athletic basketball player to ever play. Like, for real. Like, speed and athleticism. He was only 6'1", doing all of that.
That's nuts.
Crazy. Mitchell said,
Tone, do you have your pick for Coach of the Year?
Oh, yes, I do. I can go. So my pick for Coach of the Year, I'm gonna go maybe a little different route. Udoka elevating a young crew. I'm gonna go with Kenny Atkinson for the Cavaliers because we've seen plenty iterations of this Cavs team with the two guards, the two bigs, and forever we've been told we have to move off of one or the other. Like it can only be one guard and one big, or stick with the guards or stick with the bigs.
Act like the legends cannot coexist.
And exactly what Kenny Atkinson has done with this crew, it's brought the best out of everybody. And ironically, it's made Donovan Mitchell have to do less, which is still bringing the best out of him. So, like Chris alluded to earlier about Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell can just take over in the fourth quarter. Darius Garland is back to form, which you love to see because he's really been out of it for the past, I would literally maybe say a season and a half, last 2 seasons. Jared Allen is always going to be a solid 18 and 10, one of the best defenders in the NBA. But my biggest thing is he's made Evan Mobley be able to exist on his own and with everybody else. I don't remember the exact stat off the top of my head, but when the Cavs on defense with just Mobley without Allen, their defensive rating is 103. So with an all defensive player off the court and just Evan Mobley on the court, they would be the best defense in the NBA. That's tremendous considering you have 2 undersized guards. Isaac Okoro is one of the best wing defenders in the NBA, but sometimes it's Ty Jerome, who's not a slouch per se, but sometimes it's, why am I blanking on this dude's name? The minivan.
Georges Niang?
Yeah, there we go. Georges Niang.
Bang, Niang.
Yeah, I'm like, I remember everything else about this dude except his name. But Evan Mobley, what Kenny Atkinson has been able to get out of him and get out of this, what used to be perceived as weak bench group, it's a strong bench group. It can hang with about anybody in the NBA. So Kenny Atkinson has got the most out of his depth, the most out of his highest potential player, I would say, and he's brought his guard back to an all-star level. So I'm going to give it to Kenny Atkinson. They're on the road to 60-plus wins easily, but Udoka, whole bunch of candidates out there that definitely are in the running, though. Let's move on to our next award, which is Most Improved. If you couldn't tell already, my pick is Evan Mobley. Stats may be minute, but the advanced analytics are up. The eye test, and that's the thing with Evan Mobley. He's just, the eyes will tell you he's getting a little bit better and better this year. Each year, this year, I think he's been outstanding. So I'm gonna go with Mobley. Floors, anyone else for the taking?
For most improved.
The most improved player in the NBA.
I'm going to go with a guy who I think will and has to take on a bigger role, and he's looked better, and the eye test has shown he's even looked a little better. But the eye test has shown he's kind of had it in him for a while, and it's Tyler Hero. He's looked awesome this year. Jimmy's about to be off the team. Bam, like you guys said, Bam hasn't looked the best. I still like Bam. But the fact that the Heat are still winning games, he just it shows you a lot. He's taken multiple leaps and bounds, and it feels like he's been in the league for so long at this point.
Yeah, I mean he's I think on season 5.
Yeah, like COVID.
Tyler Hero, season 5. I remember him.
But De'Aaron Fox on season 8. That makes me feel.
So was Tatum.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's
Tatum.
crazy,
My homeboy Tyler playing South Beach. That's still.
Tell me this summer he gonna fix my jumper.
Dang.
Told Boy Wonder that we might have a thumper.
And that was like
anyway.
So stop rapping, or they might think it's you.
I won't beat the allegations anytime soon. But
never.
I like that pick. It's funny because Tyler Hero's won 6th Man of the Year. So if he were to win 6th Man and Most Improved, he would MVP. Win like the 2 award. Not that like anyone doesn't care about, but it's like the awards that aren't Most Improved or MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. So I just think it's a great pick, though. Great pick. Tyler's been
and he'll never win.
And the main thing is
ones.
efficiency with him. The main thing has been the efficiency. He did bust LeBron's ass last night. Chris, that tweet will not save him. He cooked your king.
Oh no, he did. He had the first.
He got him. He got him pretty good. But
Goat James had the last one.
Goat James, he did have the last laugh. He did take over in the fourth quarter. But Tyler Hero did have this dance. But we can go to Chris.
He's a
for your most improved.
He's a bucket. Okay. I don't know if this. Wimby's going to get the award. He's going to get it, but it's not going to be my pick. Because they're going to give him that John Morant most improved, where they want to give him MVP, but they can't because the team not getting it.
And then you go give it to CP3.
There you go.
Because I don't think he has one of those. So
that's my guy. He got to get something. That's my boy.
How about we should make awards at the end of the year that are anti-awards. It's like
we can do that. We can do
like
anti-awards at the end of the year.
You got
most fall off.
Oh
yeah, we could I would say least improved would kind of be stagnant. Yeah, but something biggest drop
worst
off.
Defensive player.
Not defensive player of the year.
Yes.
Yeah, we could do something that worst coach in the NBA. Least valuable player. Least valuable player would have to go to like the like worst player who gets severe minutes. Like I could just name
starter.
I could say JD Davison.
Chris is picking Rui Hachimura.
Oh boy, what? He's number one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my most improved out. I'm sorry, I forgot.
That player would most likely be on Brooklyn if I had to say, but
probably
Brooklyn or Washington.
So it's Noah Clowney. Damn, Noah. Sorry, brother. You're gonna be least improved. So my most improved though, maybe a funny pick, but I have good reasoning for it. Most improved is Austin Reeves, and the reason why I say that, I'm not sure if his stats will say they've been most improved, but just coming from a basketball player standpoint, moving from off the ball to on the ball more, moving from two guard to a point guard on a LeBron team, your role changes daily on the game basis.
Drastically.
And I think he's been great in his new role. And I think that's what the most improved for me is, because that improvement meant the most, right? Because I think if he doesn't take on that point guard role, that D'Lo trade looks even crazier. Now you have no guard to really put back there. I think he's a big part of why they're stable, stable enough as of right now. So I'll give it to Austin Reeves, but I know it's probably better picks out there. My pick would be Jalen Johnson, but he's hurt right now, so I don't know what about that. But with him being hurt, I would give it to Austin Reeves.
I think it's a great pick because that is more eye test than anything. Austin Reeves, there was talks of the past. Can he run a LeBron-less show? D'Lo could run an offense without LeBron. That's not the question. Can you run a show with LeBron on the floor? That is what the Lakers need, and Austin Reeves has done a great job. He's kind of looks like a real third, maybe not third star, maybe not third all-star, but damn, he looks good enough. And it's just a matter of consistency with the Lakers. I mean, some days you're like, you know what, we can give up these draft picks. We can maybe go all in. And sometimes you're like, you know what, LeBron's not going to be here long. We got to prepare for after. It's a matter of consistency with them, but I think they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. And then the last award we have is Sixth Man of the Year. Making my first homer pick of the day, I have Peyton Pritchard.
I believe he was my sixth man before the year started.
Maybe.
We have to go back and find the video, but yeah, I'm staying there as well. I think I remember talking about how he made all the half-court shots.
Yeah. I mean, 28 minutes a game. He's 14, 3-3 on 47, 42, 83.
At what point is 28 minutes a game a sixth man, though?
The minutes don't matter. If you come off the bench, that's all that matters. I mean,
I know.
Lou Will would. He'd sit the first 2 minutes of the game, and goddamn, he's playing the rest of the game. Same thing with Jamal Crawford.
And Ginobili. Ginobili wouldn't start. He didn't start either. People didn't even know that.
It's all a matchup thing to get a mismatch with the next guy off the bench. It's just that the other team would not, work around it. It's like, yeah, our backup point guard's just going to get destroyed by Lou Williams.
And to find an excuse to play Ime Udoka, by the way. That was why Ginobili was on the bench. To find an excuse.
Yep. Any do we have anything else other than P?
Yes, but I think he wins it, and I think he should. I think it'll be well deserved. My pick, just because I don't know if he's going to be starting too long at this point, but Russell Westbrook is my pick, dude. And
he would have been my pick. He's been starting too much.
Yeah, I think he's been starting too much. So if Russell, I want some love to Russ.
Most improved could be.
I would
in
say
the air talk.
If he wasn't MVP already, I would say, but that would be crazy.
But it's just from the season before. I mean, why not?
You know how I'd like if he was healthy.
My real pick though, because I think Russ won't get it. I think DeAndre Hunter will be my pick though, outside of Peyton Pritchard. Only because I think he's kept them pretty stable at that wing spot because they had the revolving door of GOAT Cam Reddish, by the way, and then a whole bunch of other random NPCs at small forward. So DeAndre Hunter's helped them out with that. So I say him too. And sleeper,
I see the Hunter respect from you.
Yeah, dude. I hate DeAndre Hunter, dude. I
went from not an NBA basketball player to winning awards.
Yeah, but so
MVP is next.
This is my problem. I thought DeAndre Hunter wasn't a real basketball player. Then I locked in, turned my TV on, seen that boy number 28 on the Lakers, and I said, you know what? DeAndre Hunter is an NBA basketball.
You're not. He said you're not. He said you're not a good guy, but you're not all that bad.
That's what I'm saying. You're not all that bad, I guess. Like if I have to watch this guy, I can put up with DeAndre Hunter. I swear I can.
So that is pretty much all of our mid-season awards. There's a couple we agree on, of course. But let's get into these All-Star ballots.
Yeah.
How do we want to do this? Do we want to do starters first from both conference and then work reserves, or we just want to do East and then we'll do West?
I would say East and West. Just go down.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's
start out East. Let's start out East. Do we want to try to come to a consensus on the
Let's
starters?
start with 5.
Let's start with the 5 starters. We'll all list our starters, and then maybe we can debate between. Me personally, I don't think the front court is up for debate. Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Karl Anthony Towns are the 3 I have starting in the game. My starters are Jalen Brunson and LaMelo Ball.
I like that.
I think Donovan Mitchell. I like Donovan Mitchell over Brunson.
Yeah, over Brunson. Okay.
Only because Melo's leading vote, he's gonna be in there somehow.
Yeah, Melo has to be with the leading vote getter. And also Melo's awesome.
I'm thought I'm picking LaMelo because he's hooping.
That's my boy.
He's hooping.
All-Star is one of those things where, like, okay, how one player specifically should not be affected by, like, his team sucks. But this one player is hooping, grant him. Now, there's teams that will be like the 14 seed. It's like, all right, I'm not giving you 2 All-Stars. But the Lakers are like that a little bit last year. I think they were sitting around the play-in, but they had 2 All-Stars. But it's like, you got to give it to them because they're that good. But my thing with Melo is I think he's been debatably I think I'll probably say Brunson has been the best guard in the East, in my opinion. But I think LaMelo Ball is a really good argument for 2, and I would have him at 2. He's been absolutely electric when healthy. So that'd be me. Chris, who do you have for your starters?
They probably gonna look at me crazy. I can smell TikTok right now. Tell me I'm crazy. Starting backcourt, LaMelo Ball and Cade Cunningham. Those are my 2 starters.
Okay, I considered Cade as a starter.
Winning matters. I get that, but I don't care about that in the All-Star game. I want to see buckets and fun, and that's those 2 guys give it to me. Then my front court is pretty much the same. I got JT, Giannis. I want to put Evan Mobley in there, but Towns has been ridiculous, so I'm gonna throw Towns.
Towns is having a career year. Who would have ever thought? He's been tremendous.
Chris, what about
so happy for him?
Tyrese Maxey?
Oh no, that brother's got.
I don't think I don't have Maxey on my ballot.
Yeah, Maxey probably gonna wait till next year, brother.
Yeah. Okay, so all of our guards are different. Me and Chris have LaMelo. I have Brunson. Danny has Mitchell, and then Chris has Cunningham. Which I think all have pretty fair arguments. I think Brunson is going to get it. He has the counting stats plus the wins. Yeah. Mitchell is best player, best team type deal. I could see him getting the nod. LaMelo is running away with the fan vote, so just know he is going to start. I also think he should start. So
Mitchell's also the second vote getter.
That is true. So maybe we're looking at LaMelo and Mitchell. Maybe a little mix of both. Let's move on to the reserves. For my bench, my 2 backcourt spots are Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell. My front court guys are Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, and Jaylen Brown. And then my wild cards are Cade Cunningham and RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett, every time I'm turning on a Raptors game, he's just getting the damn thing done. And more so than ever, what I thought he was absolutely lackluster, the most Jaylen Brown thing about his game wasn't a playmaker, but he's really getting it done for a tanking yet competitive Raptors team. This is easily the best year of RJ Barrett's career, efficiency-wise, scoring, passing the ball. I got to credit him. Of course, Cade Cunningham, I said he had an argument to be a starter. Of course, he's going to crack my last wild card spot, but I would certainly give the first 2 spots to Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell. And then the Cavs, maybe I'm rewarding them a little bit, giving them 3 All-Stars with Allen and Mobley. Look, East front court options aren't that great. These guys are all deserving, but you'll find a little bit more trouble out west when making your ballot.
Yeah, I agree. I think my backcourt reserve is Brunson and Damian Lillard.
Okay.
I think Dame still is an all-star caliber player, and he'll end up in the all-star game.
Hey man, plenty of all-star caliber guys who don't crack all-star games. Just saying.
Yeah. Paolo, Jaylen Brown.
Paolo just missed a chunky amount of time. That's the only reason I didn't put him there. I just want to preface him and Franz didn't make it because to me it does. To me, it is the guys who are most deserving. And you'll really see that point made when we get to the West starters.
Oh, you have no Luka and no Kyrie?
I don't even know. Did I put him? Kyrie didn't even make the game for me. I'm going to be honest. But
yeah.
Okay. And then who were you said you had Jaylen Brown, Paolo,
Evan Mobley.
And then who were your 2 wild cards?
2 wild cards. None other than Trae Young, and there was a wild card game without Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid ain't making it.
But, it's a regular basketball game, Danny. That's all.
He don't play. He don't play in his own games. What you mean he about to play this All-Star game?
He about to play an extra one. That boy said, "Oh no, my foot's hurt. I'm cool. I'm cool on this."
Not bad picks though. Not bad.
It would be the most Embiid thing to play in the All-Star game.
If he gets to the All-Star, he's going to play.
Dude,
100%.
if he gets in the All-Star game, he's going to get ran to the ground like 2020 Kemba Walker. Kemba was never the same, and Nick Nurse will pay for his crimes.
Yeah, Embiid playing the All-Star
game. It's not Nurse's fault, dude.
It is Nurse's fault he ran Kemba Walker 30 minutes in an All-Star game.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Joel Embiid not playing.
Kemba asked.
Oh, I don't. No, I'm saying Nick Nurse is going to pay for running Kemba Walker into the ground, and he's paying right now. So he's got a even more expensive Tobias Harris. All kids. Paul George he's been playing a little bit of
Philly
basketball
legend
lately.
Justin Edwards been playing the best basketball though.
Yep, Emotep legend, baby. Chris, let's go to your reserves in the East.
All right. Well, if it's my reserve team, Trae Young's on it. Most disrespected superstar in the NBA. Just want to let y'all know that. And I have. You said what?
Not better than Luka.
They both pretty much did the same thing, made the conference finals, and didn't have a chance to win the finals. So, I'm about to say,
bad faith argument on this podcast.
I'm just not doing it. Trae's my guy. I got Evan Mobley. I got Jalen Brunson. I got Trae Young. Like I said, I got Tyler Hero. Paolo as well. Probably just a homer because that's my guy. Paolo's my guy. Y'all know I love
Paolo. We all love Paolo.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown. I do have. I want to see his All-Star shoe. I think that would be cool. That's like 60% the reason why I got him on here. And I have Josh Hart. I know that sounds crazy. I know it sounds
Mr. Rebound.
I know it sounds crazy. But what Josh Hart does for this Knicks team, I'm telling you right now, they're not as good as they are without Josh Hart. Because Josh Hart's rebounds almost as much as any big man, period. And much as on their team, and he probably is the best passer on the team in real life. So I
agree.
Weren't you the dude who said you wanted to see buckets and highlights? And you had Josh Hart on my basketball court?
Wait. Do you know why? When Josh Hart gets the rebound, he's going to dribble as fast as he can down the court to pass to somebody. That's where we get our highlights at. You know,
Chris,
Chris.
This is like Julius Randle in the All-Star game, bro.
Giving it his
No.
absolute all.
Julius Randle's going to catch the ball and try to like score. Josh Hart's going to get the ball and try to find somebody else to score. That's why I want him in there. You know, he's going to be like Kevin Love. When Kevin Love used to make the All-Star game, he just got a rebound and throw it hella far down the court. Josh Hart.
Chris, Josh Hart has the same level of confidence shooting in basketball that I do.
Chill. Nope. You should know firsthand. Josh Hart tore y'all to shreds.
Yeah, but dude, Josh Hart will get past the ball, pause, realize he's wide open, look at the basket, and then be like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, when everyone around you is a better shooter than you, of course.
Yeah, dude. Like,
what's me?
Look. I can't. I usually 99% of the time, like, I can't be mad at that. I'm mad at that.
I'm mad at that
pick. I'm mad. I'm sorry at that pick.
I can't believe you. I love Josh Hart, bro.
I can't believe you.
I like Hart too, dude.
Look, if there was a role player All-Star game, he would be the leading vote getter alongside guys like Austin Reeves, Derek Holiday.
So who do you replace him with? I was thinking Franz Wagner at first. I was thinking Franz, but I was like, I don't know if the Magic would get two just because they missed so much time. Or who do you replace him with? I'm cool with replacing him. Josh Hart was kind of troll because I just think he's a guy who just doesn't get enough recognition.
I think if I had to name a couple guys,
maybe Garland or Allen, maybe.
Garland, Allen. Kristaps has kind of been off and on the games, but Kristaps has had a good year when he plays.
Peyton Pritchard.
The thing with P5 and Franz is that, dude, they're 100% in this game.
Yes,
but one of them missed way, like they just both missed way too much time, but they're 100% one of the 12 best players in the East. That's not up for debate.
Yeah.
How about Miles Bridges?
No, we're not giving him anything nice. But I do want to see LiAngelo Ball in the Celebrity All-Star game.
He should be 100%.
Yes, certainly not as former basketball player, but known rapper.
Is he gonna swerve around that corner? Whoa.
Yes, he will. I'm telling you, dude. You drop him in the Celebrity All-Star game. The rest of the celebrities are going to look like pedestrians.
Because first of all, he's 6'5". People forget that. Like, yes, he's
built like an ox, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
He's like modern Charles Barkley, except he got a 3 ball.
I want to see Famous Lowe's try it. I want to see him try to guard LiAngelo Ball. I want to see it. He's literally 6'5", 220.
Got to get Drewski in there. But
just to guard him. Like,
let's go to the West. Let's head to our West. My starters, and this is what I mean when I tell you I'm putting who deserves it.
Can we do 5 front court members?
SGA and Luka are still are still going to be my starting spots. SGA is my MVP. Of course, he's going to be starting. And then I have Victor Wembanyama as a starter. I have Nikola Jokic as a starter. I have Anthony Davis as a starter. I think these 5 guys in the West are the most deserving of a starter spot in this game. Let me preface this. I'm really doing this because I know LeBron's going to get it in real life. Duh. But I think these 5 guys have been better. AD, I think, has been getting it done offensively, defensively. Other guys, I kind of really don't have to explain myself, but I figured I'd preface.
I might surprise you here. My guards are Shea and Steph Curry. Luka's going to be on the bench.
Curry will probably get in on fan, but
my thing is this: what Steph Curry is doing at his age is super impressive, and
that's fair.
I don't like Steph Curry is just so awesome, dude. And the Warriors are just night on night basis. Like it's Steph Curry continues to be the engine in 2025, which is outrageous in my opinion. Like,
yeah, his longevity needs to be spoken on.
And on the front court side, Jokic, obviously, Kevin Durant, and Victor Wembanyama.
Can't be mad at it. Chris, who's your 5?
My starters are Goat James, because, I mean, it's an all-star game. LeBron's not there. It's not a real game. Jokic, Shavonte Gilgeous-Alexander, Victor Wembanyama, and Anthony Edwards. Now, I know Anthony Edwards is at the bottom, and they're looking really, really bad right now. But no Anthony Edwards, they're probably in the run to get Cooper flag. So I'm going to show him some love. And I mean, it's an all-star game, so at the end of the day, he's really exciting. So I put him at the end of my last pick.
Not mad at it. I have Curry and Edwards still in my all-star game. So, like, who's starting, who's not, who cares? Here goes my bench, though. I have Anthony Edwards as one of the backcourt reserves. I have De'Aaron Fox as the other. Very, very pleased with De'Aaron Fox this season. And as of lately, I mean, the Kings have just been amazing. And then I don't know, Bentley's being weird. And then for my front court guys, got the OGs, LeBron, KD. Can't be an all-star game without the guys. And then I have Sabonis. Now, the Kings, being where they are, rewarding them to all-stars can be weird. But who am I to deny these guys? I mean, they've just been absolutely incredible, in my opinion. And with things trending up, I feel more positive to give them those 2 spots. My last 2 spots, I have Steph Curry, and I got a Grizzly in there. It's not Ja. It is Jaren Jackson Jr. I think if the games Ja has missed, he is still really improved on being an offensive engine for them. And, of course, defensively, he's one of the best in the league for Depoy. So those are my reserves.
Yeah, I can go through my reserves. So starting off, we have none other than LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Şengün.
I like that. It crushed my soul to leave him out. Maybe I could put him over Jaren Jackson. Maybe I would make that switch. Maybe I would. Maybe I should make one. Maybe I should kick Sabonis because of the where they sit in the standings.
Who did you just say, Danny? I'm having a brain fart for some reason.
He said Braun, Şengün. Yeah.
And then on the guard side, like Tone said, Anthony Edwards and Luka, they'll be in the game no matter what. And my 2 wild cards are none other than Devin Booker and Jalen Williams in OKC.
Okay. I like seeing the Jalen Williams loves. He's someone I heavily considered as well. Devin Booker, of course, gets consideration as always.
Dude, Devin Booker, the All-Star game feels wrong to not have him.
There used to be a time where the All-Star game just existed without him. But guys started paying their respects.
He's elite.
Yep.
I want it to be talked about. Yo, shout out Harden though. Harden been playing good ball.
Harden's been playing good. He is the same like field goal percentage as like Fred VanVleet, but what are you gonna do? You're carrying this squad. Kawhi's
Norman
back
Powell
now,
and friends.
Norman Powell been hooping, but it is a little bit of James Harden and friends over there. But Kawhi is back, and honestly, in comparison to years past, he's kind of picked up steam a lot faster than he used to. So
fair enough.
Chris, let's hear those reserves.
Round it out before we, and then I have a NBA trivia game for you today.
Oh man!
All right,
I didn't plan for that.
I got Steph, Sabonis, Luka, Şengün, AD, Harden, and Kevin Durant.
Yeah, Kevin Durant. I'm going to say you forgot Kevin Durant.
My last one was between Harden and De'Aaron Fox. Those were the 2 I was in between, and I think Harden should get in off the strength of it needs to be recognized and respected. The same way I'm thinking about Trae Young, like no Kawhi, no PG. James Harden's been carrying his team to be relevant. I think they're 4th in the West last time I checked, or 5th. Yeah, 5th. This team shouldn't be 5th. Looking at the roster, this shouldn't be. Unless this was like 8 years ago, James Harden, maybe be like, yeah, he could do that. But doing with this roster, Zubac's been really good too, but I want to give James Harden some love. But he's just outside of it in my first injury sub.
Well, that's our NBA All-Star ballots. Make sure you guys let us know where we went wrong, what we did right, all the good stuff. But like Danny said, we have a surprise trivia, at least to my knowledge. So yeah, Danny, what is it? What is this trivia question?
Well, it's not. It's a guess the player.
Same.
So I'm gonna let you guys start. See if you can get the player. Take it away.
Okay. I can start off. Is he currently playing?
No. Wait.
Okay.
No.
Wait. Uh-oh.
Somebody recent?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
No.
Did he retire within the last 5 years?
Yeah.
Oh, just retired.
Is he a guard?
No.
It's not a guard.
Okay.
I was just going to fire off Derrick Rose, but...
First thing. Is he a center or power forward? I was going to say big, but big can be...
I wouldn't say he's a center or power forward.
So
okay, so we're looking at...
Maybe a taller forward. Maybe. She retired.
Did this guy play 10 plus years in the NBA?
For sure.
Okay. So he's not a big, not a guard. 10 plus years, retired within the last 5.
Player ever have braids?
I don't think so.
Okay. I was gonna
say Melo.
It was in my head.
He's not known to have braids, I will say.
He's not known.
So it's not Carmelo, because I know that's true.
Yeah, Carmelo cornrows up in Denver, man. What a legend. Syracuse, man. Okay. So we're talking about a guy who played 10 plus years, recently retired. Not a guard, not a big, so we got to be looking at some wings. Man, who's some wings who kicked the bucket recently?
Is Rudy Gay?
Not Rudy Gay.
Dang, I just knew I was going to be like,
I was going to guess, though. Retired within the last 5. I think this would be on like the.
I'm sorry.
No. You good? Have a question.
Does this player have a championship?
Let me check.
Yeah, you got to pull up the basketball reference. Got to have it on deck, man.
Well, I know it's not Danny Green. I can tell you that.
I would know that immediately. Where would the championships pop up?
Should just tell you, like 4-time champion or something.
It's not popping up, so I don't think so.
Okay, we don't get a champion then. Is it Vince Carter?
No.
Thinking Air Canada a little bit.
Right.
It says 0. Correct. 0.
No championships. Retired.
No championships, 10 plus years, retired within the last 5, and he's a wing.
I mean, maybe conventionally he's a power forward and listed on an NBA. He's more of a.
Is this player over 6'8"?
He is 6'8".
He is 6'8".
He's like a conventional. He's not like a conventional power forward, but he's 6'8". You know what I'm saying? He's in a weird.
Was this guy known to space the floor?
He shot 32% from 3. So. I'll let you decide.
Did this player retire in 2022?
No, he retired 23-24.
Oh,
so he's recent. Okay, so he's recent.
I didn't. Okay, I will say I didn't know he retired this recently. I thought he retired like 5 years.
Wow, so he retired 23-24. 10 plus years, wing. It's not Melo. Retired just this last year.
4, 5. Yeah.
You said 6'8".
He played for 8 teams.
Whew. So he
for 8 teams.
8 teams.
The majority of them were on one team.
Majority of his years were on one team. No, I was thinking of someone. He's only played for 4.
Is it Gordon Hayward?
It's not Gordon Hayward.
That's why I was just thinking.
Did he?
I think he's.
I think he officially retired last year.
Who officially retired recently?
It's not Blake Griffin.
Blake didn't play on 18.
This guy played 10 games for the team he played for last year.
I think I know. Is it Otto Porter?
Oh, not.
Dang! I just knew I was gonna get it right there.
I thought you had it. When you realize, when you know, is what I'll say.
Of course. Okay, so 8 different teams only logged 10 games with this last team, and he spent majority of his career with one team. Man,
he's been voted in the top 10 for 6th man of the year 4 times. He came in 3rd once.
Who was a 6th man who was just like relentless off the bench? Who was racking up 6th man of the year races like this? Oh wow.
I'm surprised this player's thumping Chris. He's pretty common name.
He's a common name now.
Born in New Orleans, site of the Super Bowl. I'll give you a hint. He went to Georgia Tech.
Oh boy, Chris would eat off that question more than me. Georgia Tech retired last year. Man.
You know what? If I'm wrong, I'm just an idiot. Is it Derek Favors?
It's not.
Oh my God.
8 teams, dude. That is ridiculous. You know what? This dude.
Tone, is he left-handed? Is he left-handed?
He is left-handed.
Please tell me. Please, did he play for your Sixers?
He got drafted by the Sixers.
That is young.
Yes, it is,
dude.
Bro, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, bro, when did Thaddeus Young retire? I didn't know. I thought he retired a while ago. That's why.
That's what I said. I didn't know he retired. I didn't know he was playing last year, dude.
It's like 6 good players went to Georgia Tech. John Sally's one of them. Chris Bosh is one of them. Derek Favors is one of them. Wait, Iman Shumpert counts as one.
Yeah, I had no clue where PJ Tucker went to school. I was like, you know what? He just started playing for anybody.
And I knew he wasn't tall enough. When he said 6'8", I'm like, all right, because PJ came.
Oh yeah, PJ's 6'5". What am I even talking about?
Also, Georgia Tech legend is Josh Okogie. If y'all knew that, just want to let y'all know. New Hornet, Georgia Tech legend. That's all.
New Hornet. But that's everything we have for you guys today. Again, if you want to catch our full episodes from this point forward, head on over to the Belly Up YouTube channel. We will put that in the description for you guys. Make it real easy, but do not unsubscribe here. Lots of new content, a lot more fun, shorter-ish form content for you guys coming. But from AP New Freezer, Culture by Migos, DC Comics, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on Monday.
Peace. Go Birds.